Hey, what's up guys? Gypsy back here today, bringing you my week 2 match in the CFA season 2, and this week we're going up against my friend TCMTL, and he was the guy I faced in the finals last season. If you guys haven't, watched that match, I recommend you go and check it out because we had a nice match last season to go to finish the season off. So that's pretty fun to be facing him this early in the season, and as you can see. He's obviously got a pretty insane team. He's got a really crazy bird spam team right here. So he's got the Mega Pincer, he's got the Azelf to set rocks. It looks like that OU team you see spammed on the ladder everywhere. He's got the Talonflame, but obviously he's got the Hawlucha and the Crobat, and then you see at the end there he has the Lander's Eye. So this man drafted just threats upon threats. His team is pretty one-dimensional in that sense, but that doesn't mean it's not really scary, as you can see. And he's obviously a really good player. He made it to finals last season, so he knows what he's doing. And I'm really looking forward to facing him, in some regards. But again, he does have a pretty scary team, so it's going to be pretty interesting. I feel as though I've prepped adequately for this match, though. As you guys can see here, this is my team of 6 right here, and I'll just quickly go over what I've brought. I've brought an Adamant Lopunny this week. No need to go jolly because I outspeed everything with Adamant nature. Obviously I don't outspeed the Crobat, but I'm not trying to outspeed the Crobat. I don't need to because everything else can take it on, and I don't think he's going to be running a max speed Crobat, to be honest. But anyway, we have the Adamant Lopunny. I've got Fake Out plus Quick Attack. That is really useful for things like Talonflame, being able to outspeed. I do outspeed a max speed Talonflame, so having the Fake Out plus Quick Attack is really nice, allowing me to get, with enough damage, I can, basically with rocks up and enough damage on his side of the field, I can do huge damage to his team. Even if he does want to set up screens with Azelf, the combination of chip damage from my other mons with Fake Out and Quick Attack from Lopunny just basically takes everything down, because although it is a really threatening offensive team, there's not a lot of bulk on his side. Obviously Mega Pincer is a lot bulkier than something like a Talonflame, but we can deal with that. We do have things like Zapdos. Zapdos is a fantastic check to basically all his birds. It can also check the Lander's Eye. Well, the standard Lander's Eye set. If he wants to get a bit creative with the set, then Zapdos is no longer a check, but Hidden Power Ice is there to deal with the Lander's Eye. Obviously max HP and a lot of physical defense to take on the Mega Pincer and the Talonflame. Now, Druddigon is here. It's a max HP, max defense, Rocky Helmet, Rough Skin set, pretty standard set rocks. I can rest up, I can roar. Now I've got roar here predominantly for the Hawlucha. If he does want to sub and set up on Druddigon, if he gets up screens and if he's like a sub SD Hawlucha, then we could be, and with Stone Edge, then we could have a problem because Zapdos doesn't check that if he gets sub too many SDs and he has the Stone Edge. So Druddigon is here to phase that out if need be. I've got the Pillar Swine here. Pillar Swine actually puts a lot of work in. It's a curse set. It's got Ice Shard, and it's basically here to, after it sets up a few curses, nothing can really take it down, and it can kill Talonflame, it can kill Mega Pincer. It's really bulky with the Eviolite and max HP. Once it starts to stack those curses, and it can obviously Merc Lander's Eye with an Ice Shard. So that's really nice. More priority the better versus Gut, to be honest. I've got Reuniclus right in the middle there. His main job is to be a switch in to Lander's Eye. He's got the AV. I'm running a lot of defense, a max HP, and a lot of defense, and some speed F to check the Lander's Eye. Now my Reuniclus set is pretty interesting, as you guys can see, and as you guys will see in this match. It puts a ton of work in. I'm running HP Rock for the birds. Mega Pincer and Talonflame hits them 4 times super effective. Running Psychic for Crobat and Hawlucha. And I'm running Ice Punch this week for the Lander's Eye. It does the most out of everything I have to hit it with. I'm running a sassy nature, so minus speed, so I don't get any minuses on the attacking stats, and Ice Punch still does over 50% to Lander's Eye. And like I said, even if he has screens or anything like that up, I just need chip damage. With screens up, it does around 50%. And then Lopunny can come and clean up with Fake Out and Quick Attack or Fake Out and return either or after that. And then lastly, we have my Metagross here, which is a Rock Polish set, a Rock Polish Life Orb set, and basically his job is to, once he Rock Polishes up, he can easily take on the Crobat. I've got Ice Punches and Headbutt and Stone Edge, so the combination of these basically destroys team once rocks are up. I have a few win conditions, but Metagross is pretty nice for me this match. So as you can see, we're looking pretty good, but we'll see how it goes. We'll just jump right into the match. So first off, I lead off. He leads off with his Azelf, and that was a pretty standard lead on his part. Wanting to set up the hazards or set up the screens. As I lead with my Lopunny, I predicted him to lead off with the Azelf, and I didn't want him to get a free screens up or anything, so I can just fake out and return to take him out. But he switches out here as I go for the fake out. He goes into his Talonflame, and this is really interesting. That damage reveals him to be pretty defensive because I am adamant, and that's a fake out. He actually revealed to me after the match that he was a Flame Body Talonflame, which is a really nice bring on his part. While it's pretty situational, just my Lopunny, I think something like I think the Gale Wings would have been a bit more useful, being able to get priority on Lopunny if I didn't speed creep him enough, or if I didn't have a quick attack. But it's still a really cool choice, I think, on his Talonflame. Maybe a more defensive Talonflame to whittle down my Zapdos with Toxic or Will-O-Wisp or something like that. But anyway, I'm not going to stand here and risk taking the flying type attack, so I just switch out right here. I go into my Draudigon as he just fires off a Toxic. Now that reveals to me that, yeah, he is probably more like a supportive Talonflame, aimed to whittle down my team so the rest of his mons can put in the work. So I just set up the rocks here. He doesn't have any way outside of Crobat to get rid of rocks, so that's really nice for me, and I don't think he's going to bring Crobat in this early. He opts to send in his Azelf and start setting up. He goes for his own rocks, and then he starts to set up the light screen. Now, I see the light screen, and I think to myself, okay, this is a pretty good bring in his part, and he's just trying to set up his screens, so he's something like an SD Mega Pinsir can, put in the work, or something like a Dancing Hawlucha, or even like a Carmine or Rock Polish Landorus. So I just decided at this point to start spamming Shadow Ball. I don't want to switch into my Zapdos and risk getting exploded on. I know my Reuniclus, because it is so fat and so defensively invested, that it can take an explosion with relative ease. It does only 50%. So this is when he sends in his Pinsir, and now, getting into the mind of my opponent, he figured he had screens up. He has, whatever I have to throw at him, he can easily tank. But he made the mistake of thinking that Reuniclus actually gave a fuck about the screen. So right here, I just go for the HP Rock, and Reuniclus completely ignores the screens, goes right through, gets a crit, and that's crazy. And right here, he brings in his Lando. I know I can take any hit, and I just want damage, so I just go for the Ice Punches. He goes for the Gravity, and I get another crit, and we take out Lando. Now, this was while this looks hilarious and very lucky in my favor, I will explain a thing or two as to why while it did obviously matter, it wasn't the end of the world really. If I did get those crits, basically I needed to get HP Rock damage off from the Pinsir. If I did that, then Fake Out plus Quick Attack, guaranteed kill from Lopunny, as HP Rock did upwards of 60% at that point, and he was at even if I got a really low roll, he was in range to die from Fake Out plus Quick Attack. That was the same with Landorus. The Ice Punch did around 30% with the screens up. I could then fake out into Ice Punch from Lopunny, which would take him out, because Lopunny is actually invested in attack, unlike Reuniclus, who isn't. So obviously, it cost differential there. That's definitely one thing it did. Reuniclus would have gone down to either Mega Pinsir or Landorus respectively, but Reuniclus didn't really care about the screens and just decided to go straight through. So in comes the Talonflame. As he U-turns here, maybe predicting my switch out, and just brings in his Hawlucha. Decided to go for the HP Rock, just in case he was a setup Talonflame. And in comes my Draudigon, who can easily take on this Hawlucha. I go for the Roar here, predicting him to sub, because it is in his best interest. He does have the screens up, so we get that right. We roar him out into his Talonflame, and that's really nice. He's taking up the Talonflame before his Crobat has the opportunity to defog. So right here, I just go for the rest on his Rock Slide, knowing that I can eat it up and just heal up, and it's going to take him multiple hits to take me out if he does have High Jump Kick, to which he will die from the combination of Rocky Helmet plus Rough Skin. So I just go into my Reuniclus here, knowing I can take a Rock Slide. He's revealed he's more than likely a High Jump Kick on the last move slot, as Psychic does take him out there, which is really nice. And just wanting to preserve differential, I just go into my Metagross here, just to take out the Crobat with a Zen Headbutt to finish this game off. So he goes to the Super Fang, which was a good idea on his part. I think the Super Fang Crobat plus the supportive Talonflame was a really clever build on his part. Weakening my team for things like Mega Pinsir and Landorus. I had to do a bit more work, but like I said, they didn't get a chance to shine because Reuniclus just went crazy, ignoring the screens. Yeah, I don't really know what to say about that. As I said earlier, it didn't matter in the big scheme of things. It didn't matter in the outcome of the game, but obviously it affected differential. Reuniclus, it would have been a 5-0 instead of a 6-0 had Reuniclus not critted the Mega Pinsir. But you know that's pretty crazy. I think that's the only time I'm ever going to get that lucky in a game. But there it is. There is my week 2 match. So we're off to a pretty solid start. We're 2-0 with an 11 differential at this point, so hopefully we can keep that going into next week. And yeah, that was a pretty quick upload, but I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll be bringing my game 3 pretty soon because I've already played it, so I hope you stay tuned for that and the rest of my MPL content. And yeah guys, thanks for watching.